Will Smith hasn't been good so far in his NHL games. He doesn't look ready for this level of play. He's outmatched physically, and some of his reads have also been off. The Sharks are giving him a chance, but if his play doesn't pick up, he may benefit from time in the AHL. In this video, we'll look at some shifts from 2 of his games and break down some of the challenges he's facing. This is Smith's second shift. He tries to get to the net, but he gets pushed away hard by the defenseman. When he does establish some kind of position near the net, he's already behind the play. The goal of this video is not just to look at Smith's difficulties, but also how hard and demanding the NHL actually is as a league for a young prospect. There's no time to rest and no leeway. You have to make the right decisions most of the time, and very quickly, or you're left behind. You see it here again. Smith is going to move a little too far up on the forecheck, leaving 3 opponents behind. His team doesn't get the puck, and so he has to play catch-up on the backcheck. To his credit, he does level up with his opponent, but the opposition still got a 3-on-2 and a shot off the rush.
Still no score. Sharks changing.
In this shift, Smith is simply a bit too slow to move the puck. He catches it along the wall, spots his options, and makes a first pass. Then he shows his exceptional handling ability to get the puck out of traffic, but he doesn't anticipate the back pressure after entering the zone. To avoid losing the puck, he either had to skate forward faster or make his wide pass quicker.
He's just 19 years of age and got a very bright future ahead of him. Great hockey senses.
It's not unusual for players who rely on their hockey sense to take a bit longer to adapt to the NHL. Smith doesn't have a speed or a physical advantage against these opponents. He probably ranks as below average in both categories right now in the league, so he has to make precise reads all the time. And for that, he has to understand the patterns of the league and its speed. This is an example of Smith making a good read. He lets his teammates push back the defense, he downshifts, and he uses the space they create to shoot from the circle. One thing we have to remember about this play, however, is that Smith had time and space to figure out the tactical situation. It's the kind of pace that he was used to in college. But we also want to see more pace out of him. This is still a pretty good shift overall from him. He applied decent pressure on the forecheck and backcheck, played his role defensively, and he even made a pick play at the end to help a breakout. It was a pretty simple defensive situation with a lot of support, however. Here's a more complex one with more changes of possession. Smith gets turned around. He moves toward the puck, doesn't spot the attacker behind him, and then loses defensive side positioning on him on their way to the net. He takes a penalty.
Rebound! Oh, Vanacek left it laying around, and how did Gauthier not deposit that?
This shift also has good moments. He supports his defenseman well in this battle, and then skates up on the breakout. He attempts a complex crisscrossing maneuver with his teammate, and turns that move into a kind of spin shot. Catches the puck back and sends it across the ice. We saw his skill here. This play is not necessarily Smith's fault, but he's part of the breakdown. The other team gets out of the zone. Smith is first on the backcheck.
It hard around. Brett Leeson gets the motor going through center. Got it across. Here's Lundestrom in.
Usually, teams have a set of rules for F1 on the backcheck. Some teams have their F1 hunt the puck carrier all the way through. Others have them cover the opposite wide lane, and the D shift to take care of the puck carrier, if that puck carrier is out of reach by the red line or the defensive blue line, depending on the system. Considering that both defensemen are clearly shifting here, maybe it was Smith's responsibility to continue skating wide and stay ahead of this attacker. But this could also be a miscommunication with the on-puck defenseman, or this defenseman not spotting the third attacker. And there's also this player who's not putting that much effort into his backcheck. Overall, it's probably a team breakdown and players not communicating. I picked that last clip because it also illustrates the kind of environment Smith is in right now. It's not a very forgiving one. His teammates are a bit unpredictable, and they're not that good at getting open, and not all on his level in terms of offensive thinking either. Smith has been very privileged over the past few years, playing with 2 highly talented, very smart and predictable line mates. They made the game really easy for him, but it's not the case anymore. Here's another defensive sequence. His defenseman pinches on the wall. The puck gets rimmed around. I don't really know what's happening here. Smith focuses on the puck, but it's not like he doesn't see the opponent getting by him. He tags him as he passes by. Maybe he's thinking that his teammate behind him will get him, or that his defenseman will recover and skate to the net. Thankfully, Connor Bedard, for some reason, also doesn't spot his fully open teammate and decides to shoot. Maybe he didn't expect to have such an easy play open, or maybe Teravainen is so good at sneaking past everyone that even his teammates don't seem to spot him. The Sharks then try to break out and are not very successful. The play turns into a long forecheck, and Smith either lacks speed to join his teammate on the forecheck, or he should have went for a line change.
Good girl, smart.
Here's Connor Bedard. He's got Maroon with him.
This is a good defensive sequence from Smith. He battles hard, stays with his man, boxes him out, and follows him as the play rotates around the zone. He's also always scanning the ice to map out attackers and their next play. He puts in the full effort. And then he gets free at the end and creates the exit in a 2-on-1.
Alex Vlasic, he'll circle the Sharks net. Jones waiting, and that's high. Bedard again throws on the brakes against Jake Wallman. Foligno in there for the Hawks. They keep the pressure on. Jones goes back to Foligno. Back to Jones again.
Go to him. Too much coasting out to the man, Randy. Got to get your feet moving, and you got to pressure. Go to him right away. That's better by William Eklund. Got to keep moving, but they're tired right now. They've been out there too long.
A backhand pass. Teravainen trying to knock it down. Will Smith got a piece, but the Hawks keep the puck in. Now it's Smith skating out with it. 2-on-1. He's got Luke Cunnin. Will Smith looks. Wait.
This is a sign of a player second-guessing himself. There are plenty of better plays here he could have made. He could have passed early to his teammate and came in the zone as a shooting option instead. He has the shooting skills to beat the goalie off a pass or cleanly from here too. The other guy is in a better one-timer position. So maybe the ideal play was to manipulate the defender into committing to something. Smith just had to be a bit more patient and try a lob pass. But he ends up going for the dangle and running into the defenseman's stick. And again, he also doesn't anticipate the incoming back check. And here's another sequence that makes me think that he's really losing confidence in his own abilities at the NHL level. Smith gets the puck in space and he pretty much stops skating. He kills the pace of the attack and makes two passes that don't change much at all. He's not inviting the defender on himself or making him move, and he's not attacking space either. At the end, he does connect with a trailing teammate with a deceptive pass. That's a good play, but his attack was so slow that he gave time to another defender to arrive in the play, and that defender ends up blocking the shot. This was not an NHL attack. This is kind of a play you see more in junior or the NCAA.
And it's 4-2. So 2 quick goals inside the first 3 minutes of this third period.
It's easy to understand why Smith is trying these kinds of slow build-up plays. He scored with them a lot previously. Again, he played with two teammates who knew each other's intentions very well and could really impose their will over the ice. They played a chess match against the opposition. But now Smith has to develop new patterns. He has to learn to play with more pace and develop a bunch of details before he's ready to perform at this level. He has to develop his speed, his physical game, and his defense. As it's probably going to be a steep hill to climb, the right place for him is the AHL. He's highly talented and smart. He just needs some time to figure out the professional game.
Great NHL to just take it.
Sharks with a quick opportunity there. That will bounce by the far post. Sharks working hard in front. Save! Another opportunity off of body, and it's pushed up and out.
So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. You can also check out eprinkside.com for more prospect analysis.